this is probably high intensity, super orange dream. Possible super etchy. I don't think it's super etchy. And then Freeway. So it's got one copy of asphalt, one copy of yellow belly to give that visual weird, acts like super form. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. Today we're going into the snake room. We're going to be looking at a really cool clutch of ball pythons that I hatched out in May of this past year. And it is a Freeway complex. Now the Freeway complex, we've discussed this before, but you know, it's good to keep reviewing because it reinforces it in people's minds. We always have new people coming into the hobby. When you take one copy of the yellow belly gene and you take one copy of the asphalt gene, which in and of itself, if you just look at a plain asphalt, it's kind of hard to tell that it has anything that makes it different. Yellow belly is a little bit more visually, I guess you could say evident, because it has a lot of blushing on its lower border. When you mix one copy yellow belly with one copy of asphalt, you get two genes that line up on the same location, or locus as we call it, and we get what's called an axe-like superform. So they actually, instead of having two copies of yellow belly or two copies of asphalt, you get one of each, and you get something called the Freeway complex, or the Freeway, I guess you could say, ball python. And it's just a wacky, crazy looking striped, brownish, orangish looking snake. And it's just so cool. I remember seeing my first one, and I'm like, man, I have to get into that. And this was going back 8 years ago. So I've done a lot with it since then. And we bred actually both of these. One of these, the male was actually something I produced, which is a high intensity, super enchy orange dream Freeway. And I bred that to a high intensity orange dream. So that's right off the bat, we're going to be breeding high intensity to high intensity, which is kind of cool because we wanted to try to prove out, is there a super high intensity? And I don't know if we actually proved it or not, but we'll take a look at that. She was also obviously yellow belly and enchy. So really good breeding. We're going to see the babies of that and how they've progressed and grown over the last 7 months and find out if this is a project that you guys would like to get into. Also, we're going to be taking a look at some labyrinth and super labyrinth, also known as the crystal boas, and how they're developing as well, because I think I'm ready to really put up that entire litter pretty soon. So let's take a look without further ado. All right, I wanted to show you this little update on this, one of my recent clutches that hatched. This is a rainbow. And this female is a snake that I produced on September 25th. It's one of the nicest, weirdest looking rainbows I've produced. It came from a breeding of a hypo-enchy disco, actually super enchy, disco rainbow, bred to a butter enchy hypo het rainbow. So it looks like we have a hypo butter enchy rainbow, which is, let's go out here. She's really nice. Look at that. She's got a red eye. Butter rainbows seem to have like really, really red eyes. I don't know if you can capture this. Really nice. Take her outside. Yeah, outside really captures. This girl's in shed too. She just went to shed, of course, because I wanted to film her today. But rainbow does so many different things with different genes. Butter and rainbow give you this like orangey, yellowish thing going on. Whereas when you mix like dark morphs like hurricane, you get like purples. I really like the way this girl looks though. She got some yellow, oranges, interesting colors in her. And once again, she's just only a couple months old, so she's gonna change a lot as she develops. Beautiful little girl. All right, not snakes, not fish. I'm gonna show you I planted these cucumber seeds here, like last year. They never grew. I had this little sprout, nothing happened. Then this big vine a year later grew. And it was doing awesome. And then we got this crazy freaking cold weather here. It was like I don't know, it was probably like 30 degrees and the thing died. But look, this like I see these like little cucumbers that are on there that were growing. Obviously they're never gonna make it beyond probably this little stage. And then out of nowhere, look at this thing. I see this enormous cucumber hanging there. It grew onto my other plants. Imagine how great this vine would have been had we not get that cold weather. So I got one good cucumber out of it. Took 2 years. I didn't think this thing would ever grow. Got spider webs all over it. So yeah, I don't see any other cucumbers, but it was growing great. It really was. And I don't know. Cold weather sometimes hits here in Florida. That's why the orange prices are so high, because out of nowhere, you're gonna get a storm and you're gonna lose half your crop or something like that. And that's just the way it goes here. So I got one cucumber. All right, we're gonna start off with this one. This is a Super Orange Dream, probably high intensity because it really looks radioactive. And it's possible super enchy too. I think it's super enchy. Look at just the way the head is isolated off. And I think it's asphalt. This is yellow belly or asphalt, but this is a really nice snake. It's in shed, but look at how bright it is. This is Super Orange Dream, most probably super enchy. And then it's either asphalt or yellow belly. Really nice. And it's high intensity orange dream too. I don't know if there's a super high intensity orange dream. That we could have that in this litter because we had high intensity to high intensity. So I don't know if there is a super form of it, or I don't think anyone's confirmed it or not. But this is definitely at least high intensity super orange dream. Possible super enchy yellow belly or asphalt. This male will be available. I have not listed him. One of the many snakes I have not listed. He is really big. Look at it. See how that head is all isolated off there? That's definitely super enchy. If I was a guessing man. All right, this is one of the really, really nice males they produced. Maybe the best one. This is a possible super high intensity, super orange dream, super enchy Freeway. I really think we hit all three on this. If there is a super form of the high intensity gene, I think this is it, to be honest with you. But you never know. It's hard to tell with, but this is a visual Freeway. Okay, so the other one was not visual Freeway. So this has one copy of asphalt, one copy of yellow belly, creating that super form. But you guys have seen Freeways before. This doesn't look anything like a normal Freeway. So it's because it has the 2 copies of Orange Dream. I think it has 2 copies of Enchy as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if it had 2 copies of high intensity Orange Dream. I would probably just call this for the record. High intensity, super Orange Dream, super Enchy Freeway. I produced stuff that's similar to this. I think this might be one of the best ones. So everything but the head looks like freaky crazy. And it's still this way 7 months later. This thing was insane when it was born, and it's still looking really, really nice. So this is a male, and a great future breeder for sure. And this guy's in shed, this girl I should say is in shed. This is what I believe to be a high intensity Orange Dream, super enchy yellow belly or asphalt. It looks like yellow belly to me, just by it has a lot of blushing on its lower border. Usually the asphalts don't have that. Obviously this girl is in shed right now. It's just she's very not happy about what's going on, but definitely high intensity gene in this girl. Definitely super Orange Dream. Actually, maybe not super Orange Dream. It's hard to tell. Pop and I, when we first ID'd these guys, we called her possible super Orange Dream, but I think she's probably super enchy. She's got the isolated head, yeah. See how the head is like, got the yellow around it, creating like a little island in the middle there. I would tend to think this is super enchy orange, high intensity Orange Dream, yellow belly or asphalt. I'd be tending towards the yellow belly, guess. Now, this is one of the most interesting of the entire clutch, because this I don't know if this is Orange Dream. I think this might just be the high intensity gene. I called this high intensity enchy yellow belly or asphalt. Remember, because the father was a Freeway, the mother was yellow belly. If the mother does not throw yellow belly, the father has to throw either asphalt or yellow belly. So if there's no freeways, if it's not a visual freeway, then what it has to be either yellow belly or asphalt. We just don't know because we don't know if the father, what they threw. This one might be, it's hard to tell with this one. I'm not sure on this one, but this girl is so like bright without having a lot of orange in it. So I'm almost thinking there's no orange dream in this girl, and that it's just the high intent. Maybe this is super high intensity. But then again, no, because both parents were only orange dreams, so we could actually miss the orange dream. Both are high intensity. This just could be either high intensity, Enchi, yellow belly or asphalt, or super high intensity, Enchi, yellow belly or asphalt. And I think this is the second time I've done something like this where I've actually isolated what I believe is the high intensity gene in the absence of orange dream. So this is high intensity, no orange dream here. At least that's what I think it is. Because it's just too light and it just doesn't have enough orange in it to be orange dream. I don't know. It looks like almost, it has like a, I don't know, it's like the lightest orange you've ever seen. It looks like there's like almost like fire gene in here, but there isn't. Now this one is very close to the other one. This little female. Calling her high intensity, for sure. This one looks a lot more orange. So I think this is high intensity orange dream, Enchi, yellow belly or asphalt. Everything's got to be at least Enchi because the father was super Enchi. So you can see this one's a lot more orange. Let's compare these. Let's contrast these two girls. See this one, and then this one. This one's like beige. This has got the orange. So this is definitely orange in here. I'm telling you, I think this is just high intensity without the orange dream. I really, really think I isolated it. This was a very big clutch, as you're gonna see by all the snakes I'm showing you in this clutch. So it definitely is possible that I hit no orange dream, at least in one baby. All right, this little boy is Enchi, high intensity orange dream, I think. Yellow belly or asphalt. He's got a little bit more orange in him also, but he's not that orange either. I gotta be honest with you. He is not that orange either. This could potentially be another non-orange dream, just high intensity snake. Maybe this is just an Enchi, but it has a lot of maybe it just is Enchi. I don't know. It looks like more than Enchi. I think it's high intensity Enchi. Yellow belly, possibly, or asphalt. It has a lot of blushing on the lower border, so it probably is yellow belly. But just really interesting. I don't know. This one I'm a little bit more unsure of. I called it Enchi, high intensity orange dream, yellow belly or asphalt, but I'm not sure. Maybe when it was younger, it had more orange in it. But usually orange dream gets more orange as it gets older, and I don't see that much orange in the snake. Just don't. Here's another stunner. High intensity orange dream. It might be super orange dreams. I have it listed as possible super orange dream. It's definitely high intensity. It's possible super Enchi, definitely Henchi at least. Freeway. And this boy has also just gotten better and better. So a lot of times freeways fade really fast. This guy's holding his color at 7 months really, really well. I don't think he's super Enchi. He's definitely orange dream, but he's more than that because I've produced orange dream freeways and they don't look like this. So this could be super, this is probably high intensity, super orange dream. Possible super Enchi. I don't think it's super Enchi. And then freeway. So it's got one copy of asphalt, one copy of yellow belly to give that visual weird, acts like super form. Beautiful. All right, now this is our more conventional looking freeway. This is an Enchy Freeway because everything's Enchy in this clutch. That would make it a Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is just Freeway with the Enchy gene. Someone called it Mardi Gras. I like the name. That was my first mail was a Mardi Gras that I bought. That got me into this whole program. This, I believe, has Orange Dream in it. It might have high intensity Orange Dream because it does glow really nice, but it looks a lot different than these other ones. You know, maybe the other ones do have super Enchy, and that's why they're so dispersed. It's just, you know, you look at something like this and you're like, what the heck is going on there versus here, you know? And it could just be that this has got, you know, 2 copies of Enchy in it and 2 copies of Orange Dream, and this one doesn't. Here's another snake and shed. This is the last one I'm going to show you. This is what I believe to be super Orange Dream, high intensity, super Enchy, yellow belly, or asphalt. So it's not a visual, we didn't hit a visual Freeway on this. And when they're in shed, they're in a really nasty, they get in nasty moods. They don't want to be bothered. They just want to sit here and shed, you know. But I mean, if you like super Orange Dream stuff, I mean, this is about as nice as it gets. I mean, this boy is gorgeous. So that's, once again, 2 copies of Orange Dream with the high intensity gene in there. I think it's 1 copy of Enchy. I don't think it's super Enchy, to be honest with you, but it's possible. It's possible super Enchy. And then it's got yellow belly or asphalt in there. I'm not really sure. It looks a little asphalty to me, this boy. You got me. I asked for it. I was disturbing him. But great litter. Great clutch. Haven't sold a single snake. Actually, I think one of these snakes are sold, or is being paid off. And I don't think I have them all listed, but I might. I have to look. I don't think we listed them yet. If anyone's interested, contact me. A little update on my Blizzard, Super Hypo Blizzard. It's a Super Hypo Sharp Albino, Black-Eyed Anery. Still white as the day it was born. Not a single hint of yellow. We'll never see yellow in this because that Black-Eyed Anery gene not only removes red, it removes yellows. Super Hypo erased the pattern completely, and we have a white snake. This beautiful, beautiful girl. One of my favorite boas in my entire collection. It's just been growing. Little by little, we feed it nice and slowly. Slow growing her. I think she's the whitest. She's whiter than the fire diamonds that we have. She doesn't have a hint of anything because the super fires have black in them. They'll have like not like big patches of black, but they have like black striping in them. They have black spots on them, and this snake does not have 1 ounce of color or any kind of anything here. So gorgeous. All right, I'm just gonna show. Talked about it last week. I wanted to show you some Labby crystals in my collection here. Actually, these are going to be ones I'm going to be selling soon. I think they're old enough now. This is a Hypo crystal, possible jungle. Beautiful. I love the crystals. Crystal is Super Hypo. Excuse me. Crystal is Super Labyrinth gene. You pretty much have a very similar pattern. The pattern gets a little reduced, but it basically turns the snake a pinkish white color. The eyes get really blue. You can see those blue eyes, really vibrant blue eyes there. And depending on how many copies of Hypo gene in there, if there's jungle, you can reduce pattern even more. Hypo gene reduces pattern. A lot of people don't realize Hypo lightens things up, as per the name hypomelanistic, but it also in boas, it takes away the saddles. So it's not the same gene as you see in ball pythons, which in ball pythons it's a recessive, in boas it's an incomplete dominant gene. And the more copies of Hypo you have, the more saddles you will disrupt. So that's something that a lot of people don't realize because they assume the gene is the same in both those species of snake. So this is a gorgeous Hypo. what I think to be a hypo crystal. All right, this is another beautiful hypo crystal or hypo super labyrinth. This one actually absolutely has jungle in it. You can see that jungle stripe right here. So that, but look at those eyes. Look how crystal blue, light blue they are compared to the other one. And I don't know if that's probably due to the jungle gene. The other one had blue eyes, but this one has like a very almost a light. It's so light blue that it's almost white, but gorgeous. Do I love blue eyes on snakes. I don't know who can. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Look at that eye. Whoa, that is cool. And you can see this one has a lot more pattern, so it's possible the other one was super hypo, because both parents were hypo. And this one has a lot more labyrinth pattern in it. And the jungle has changed that a little bit as well. So, all right, here's another beautiful female. This is a single gene labyrinth with the jungle gene in there. And more than likely there's a hypo gene in there because it's very red looking. But you can see that little line that runs along right here. That's the jungle indication. That means there's jungle there. It's the dead giveaway. Really nice head spear on this. This is a girl, a nice little female. And she's being very curious for the camera here. A lot of typical labyrinth pattern in the top part of her body. And toward the end, you can see it's a little broken up. And that probably is a good indication that the jungle gene is doing that, and a little bit from single copy of the hypo gene as well. So, but there's a lot more black and dark pigments in this snake than I've seen in other labbies, which almost makes you say, hey, maybe there's no hypo gene, but I think the tail is just too red to not be a hypo. All right, here's one of my favorite crystals from this litter. This I believe to be a super hypo jungle crystal, or super hypo jungle super labby. I think it's a super hypo only because the pattern, the labyrinth pattern, is so reduced to a single line that I almost think it has to be super hypo. There's like almost zero labyrinth pattern left in this thing. This guy's in shed too, so it's a little, she's a little darker than she normally looks, but you can see she's almost patternless. She just has a single dorsal stripe line down her back. And you can see the little jungle indicator line. So I'm calling her super hypo jungle super labyrinth or crystal. She doesn't want to put her on. She doesn't want to put her nose down for anything. There she goes. Okay. She's a little timid probably because she is in shed, so we'll leave her alone. All right, last snake of the day. Another, of course, in shed. Look at that beautiful eye. Possible super hypo jungle crystal. As you're seeing, they all look a little different, you know? All the crystals, just like all labyrinths, have different degrees of pattern. And this one's got a great eye. This is a female too. And these snakes, most of these will be available. I'm gonna hold back something. I haven't decided what I'm holding back, but you guys are interested, let me know. I haven't put them up on Morph Market. I have maybe one or two up there. I've just been lazy. I like to wait with my boas, because I don't want to have seller's remorse. Look at that eye. What a beautiful specimen that is. So there's my, once again, jungle hypo, possible super hypo crystal. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. Hope you liked that really cool Freeway clutch we produced. Man, I gotta say, you know, the super orange dream, high intensity Enchi stuff mixed with that Freeway complex just gives you some wacky, crazy looking, beautifully orange-ish, crazy pattern babies, doesn't it? And if that's something you're interested in getting into, it's one of my favorite projects actually. And reach out to me. I have a lot of babies still from 22, some from 21 left over that I can definitely set up a nice pair for you guys to get yourself right into the heart of the project. Pretty cool also. It seems like I've isolated that high intensity gene without the orange dream in it. Done it before in a clutch before this, and I sold the animal. Someone begged me they wanted the animal so bad, and I never really heard from him if he ever progressed with that or bred it into something else. So I'll probably hold back the one that I produced here that has only high intensity, just to see if I can get high intensity other, high intensity bananas or high intensity, black pastels and stuff like that, because it could be some cool stuff. It is an incomplete dominant gene, so it should make it easy to get it into new projects pretty quickly. So we'll see how that goes. And although you can never go wrong with a high intensity orange dream, right? But it's nice to be able to separate it and see that it is two separate genes. All right, I hope you also enjoyed the crystals. They're some of my favorite boa combinations. That super labby gene, man. Oof. Who doesn't like a white, pink, and blue-eyed boa? They're gorgeous. I can never get enough of those guys. If you guys are interested in getting into that project, let me know. I have snakes for sale. All right, hopefully you guys had a great New Year's. Happy New Year to you. Here's to a great 2023 breeding season. Hopefully the economy will pick up, the market will pick up, and we'll all be back in the full swing of things in this coming year. I can't believe it's 2023 already. Unbelievable. All right, guys, if you like what you see, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow.